Hi everyone, it's Mrs. H. Our family loves old-time movies, TV, and radio. Join us as we study the old days together. How did Yvonne DeCarlo become such a big movie star and get her big break in Hollywood? Find out together as we go down the nostalgia road. Actress, dancer, and singer Yvonne DeCarlo, born Margaret Yvonne Middleton, was born September 1st, 1922, and she was actually a Canadian-American movie star. Both DeCarlo and her mother used to visit LA often. She ranked second at the Miss Venice pageant in 1940 and sixth in the Miss California pageant that year. Not bad for a Canadian. The booking agent saw her perform at the Miss Venice pageant and recommended she try out for a spot in the chorus line at the Earl Carroll Theater on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. After picking up DeCarlo from school, her mother took her to Earl Carroll's to try out for the role. They found his approach off-putting, to say the least. Sexist. So DeCarlo and her mother looked for jobs at the Florentine Gardens, another trendy Hollywood nightclub. She started doing more solo acts and even made her first soundie. In 1940, she was detained by immigration officials and deported to Canada after only a few months of dancing at the Florentine Gardens. Nils Granlund, the proprietor of Florentine Gardens, telegraphed the U.S. immigration officials in January 1941, offering to sponsor DeCarlo and reiterating his offer of regular work so DeCarlo might legally rejoin the country. Hollywood Rebels, a review, was held at the Orpheum Theater in May of 1941, and she was a part of it. When reviewing it, a critic from the LA Times remarked that Yvonne DeCarlo's dancing stood out. Along with Edmund Lowe and Victor McLaglen, she made her radio debut with a network broadcast of their Flag Quint concert. To put it simply, DeCarlo felt the need to take action. She left the Florentine Gardens and signed with a talent agency, Jack Pomeroy, after being encouraged to do so by her friend Artie Shaw, who offered to pay her salaries for a month. Thanks to Pomeroy, DeCarlo had an uncredited cameo in the Columbia Pictures B-movie Harvard. Here I Come as a Swimming Beauty in 1941. She made $25 for her role in the film, and because to that role, she was accepted into SAG, Screen Actors Guild. Since she was unsuccessful in landing additional acting roles, she tried out for the chorus and was recruited by Earl Carroll. Working for Carroll, she landed a small role in This Gun for Hire at Paramount in 1942. Carroll discovered this and dismissed her since he does not tolerate any of his dancers working elsewhere without his knowledge or consent. Granlund rehired her when she requested him to. It was December 1941, and she was performing in the Garden show, Glamour Over Hollywood. When the United States entered World War II, DeCarlo and the other Florentine dancers were in high demand to perform USO concerts for the armed forces. She was a good horsewoman and competed in several rodeos on the West Coast. Salome, where she danced, 1945, a Universal Picture film produced by Walter Wenger, gave her her first major role. Wenger called her the most beautiful girl in the world. She secured a 5-year contract with Universal after the film's promotion and box office success made her a household name. Frontier Gal, 1945, and Slave Girl, 1950, are just a few of the opulent Technicolor movies in which she starred for Universal. Cameramen have crowned her the Queen of Technicolor for 3 consecutive years. When she became sick of always being cast as exotic ladies, she gave her real tragic performances in 2 film noirs, Brute Force, 1947, and Crisscross, 1949. DeCarlo, who was the Hollywood A-lister, was the first to travel to Israel and became a household name after starring in the hit British comedy Hotel Sierra, 1951, The Captain's Paradise, 1953, and Happily Ever After, 1955. Her breakout performance was in the biblical epic The Ten Commandments in 1956, directed by the legendary Cecil B. DeMille, for which she was nominated for a Laurel Award as the supporting actress. In addition to her portrayal as Mary Magdalene in The Sword and the Cross in 1958, she had additional leading parts in films, as in The Death of a Scoundrel in 1956, Band of Angel 57, and Flame of the Islands in 1956, while starring in the CBS comedy The Munsters 1964 through 1966 as Herman Munster's attractive vampire bride, Lily. She won over a whole new audience. Stay tuned for our next trip down the nostalgia road.